establish connectivity between MySQL and Python. Now, question is how to communicate with MySQL server and execute necessary SQL commands like create, update, insert and delete. The answer is using cursor. The connection object only establishes the connection between Python and SQL but cannot execute commands directly. So to interact with database, we need cursor object. A cursor is an object that allows to execute SQL queries, send queries to MySQL and fetch results back to Python. So let us create a cursor object. In order to create a cursor object, we have to write cursor equal to on.cursor, and in this way you are able to create your cursor. We will print this statement here. Cursor created. Once you create a cursor, the best practice you should always follow is to close the cursor. At the end of program, you should write cursor.close so that our cursor get closed. Now we will run this program. Now we have successfully created our cursor object. Cursor is connect. Once we have created our cursor, next step is to communicate with our very first step to communicate with our SQL server is creating database. You can see that I am in my workbench and here I do not have any schema name cold storage here. And as I am working on cold storage management system, I need a database name cold storage. So we create it in our Python code only. I come here and type here as cursor dot execute. In the bracket, I will write create database if not exist. Name of the database, I want to give the name as cold storage and I will run this command. So I will run this program and after my database get created, message comes to me as print database created. So let us run this program. You can see database created message comes to me. Let us check in our workbench. I go here and refresh my schemas and I can see a database name cold storage get created over here. But right now no tables are here. Without tables, we cannot be able to work in MySQL. So in order to create a table, we must understand what type of table we need in our cold storage management system. So as you know that we are working on cold storage management system, we have a design of our cold storage management system. In order to create cold storage management system, we need three tables. First is customer. That is the customer who is willing to visit our cold storage and want to save his item in our cold storage. So we need his details to be get inserted over in this table and we have to manage the customer table. Similarly, we need an item table that which item we are going to store in our cold storage, and the third table is storage detail table known as storage table. Let us understand in detail. We have a customer with detail like customer ID, which is a primary key, customer name, email, phone, organization and designation. Then we have an item table with item ID, item name, price and storage days with item ID as a primary key. Here our customer and item table are master table. And we have a third table known as storage table in which storage ID is primary key. Customer and item ID are foreign key. We have a rate with which we are going to store the particular item, the number of days in which for which we are storing the details, and the total cost, which is the product of a rate and days. This is a transaction table. So you can see here customer and item has one to many relationship with a storage table. So let us design this database. Now we are in our Python code in order to create table. So in order to create table, first of all, we need to use our database. So we will write here cursor.execute and then we will write use cold storage. Once we completed with this, we are in process to create the table. In order to create the table, we will write command cursor.execute. After that, we will have triple quotes inside which we will write create table if not exist, and then we will give the detail as customer ID is int and auto increment type and primary key. Then we have a next field, that is customer name is of market type. The next field is our email. It is again varchar. Then we have phone number. And we have organization. And then we have designation. Once we complete with this, we close this bracket and then close this bracket, and then we will print the statement table created successfully. Once we complete this, we will run our program. You can see I get a message table created successfully. Let Let us check in our MySQL workbench. I refresh the schema and you can see that I have created with a table name customer. In a similar way, we can create a table name item and storage and then move further for further processing of our project.